Google parent company Alphabet said Monday that it plans to raise $80 billion to help pay for the massive AI infrastructure build-out it has planned. Alphabet will sell off that amount in stock and will then use the funds to pay for general corporate purposes, including capital expenditures to scale AI infrastructure and global compute, the company said in a statement. Part of the plan involves selling $10 billion in stock to Berkshire Hathaway, the massive global holding company formerly led by Warren Buffett.
NVIDIA opened Taipei's enormous Computex trade show on Sunday with a spark, literally. The chipmaker unveiled a new PC CPU called the RTX Spark, which it dubbed a super chip, and named a who's who list of PC makers that will soon deliver AI PCs powered by it. The super-fast 1 petaflop chip is designed to run AI agents like OpenClaw or Hermes agents securely, according to NVIDIA. Such RTX Windows PCs will be available this fall from Asus, Dell, HP, Lenovo, Microsoft Surface and MSI, with models from Acer and Gigabyte to follow.
Mac Industries, the 3-year-old defense tech startup run by 22-year-old founder and CEO Ethan Thornton, has raised a $300 million Series C at a $1.8 billion the valuation. The raise nearly quadruples the valuation of the company in a year. In June 2025, Mac raised $100 million at a $470 million the valuation. Other investors include Bedrock Capital, Sequoia Capital, and Khosla Ventures.
United States President Donald Trump will reportedly drop his $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund amid congressional backlash, including from fellow Republicans. On Monday, U.S. media indicated the fund would be paused, though the White House has yet to publicly confirm the reports.
Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan has rejected a call from Moscow to hold an immediate referendum on leaving the Russian-led Eurasian Economic Union, EAU, to join the European Union. The refusal from Pashinyan came on Monday as Russian President Vladimir Putin called, ostensibly, to wish him a happy birthday. The unreasonable demand, as the Armenian leader termed it, came amid a rapid escalation of economic and diplomatic pressure from the Kremlin as its traditional ally increasingly looks to the West.
Thousands of Kenyans have marched through central Nairobi to demand that the government declare a national crisis over rising cases of femicide and child disappearances. The march, composed mostly of women, was organised on Monday by the End Femicide movement alongside women's rights, human rights and child protection groups. It was one of the largest demonstrations against gender-based violence the Kenyan capital has seen in months and brought traffic to a standstill across parts of the city's central business district. Denmark's Social Democratic leader Mette Frederiksen has announced that she has agreed to form a centre-left minority government, securing a third consecutive term as Prime Minister. The breakthrough, announced on Monday, ends more than 2 months of political deadlock following a highly fractured March general election, the incoming policy crisis, in an immediate foreign policy crisis with the United States over the future of Greenland.
Some of the most consequential companies in tech history didn't launch with a splashy fundraising announcement. They started with a pitch. Dropbox demoed to a room of skeptics. Cloudflare took the stage before most people understood what edge networking meant. Discord was a scrappy game developer called Hammer and Chisel. Mint, Trello, Forethought, N26, all of them passed through the same crucible. TechCrunch startup Battlefield. That's not a coincidence. Battlefield isn't just a competition. It's a launch pad, and the numbers back it up. More than 1,700 companies have competed on the Battlefield stage. Together, they've raised $32 billion in total funding and generated over 250 exits, including acquisitions by Microsoft, Google, Yahoo, Salesforce, Twitter, Uber, and Amazon. The startup Battlefield network runs so deep that alumni have even acquired each other. Dropbox acquired fellow startup Battlefield alum DocSend in 2021. For thousands of founders, it's become a defining milestone, not just a pitch competition, but the moment the world started paying attention.
Florida has become the first US state to sue OpenAI over the design and safety of the company's artificial intelligence. AI chatbot ChatGPT, the sweeping lawsuit brought by Attorney General James Uthmeier, alleges OpenAI and its boss Sam Altman are endangering and addicting children, aiding and abetting mass shooters, and coaxing users into suicide as the company pursues profit. Hundreds of people have taken to the streets in central Kenya to protest a planned Ebola quarantine facility at a military base that would take in United States nationals. Demonstrators rallied on Monday in the city of Nanyuki, days after Kenya's High Court ordered the suspension of the plan. The suggestion that Kenya should host people exposed to the virus, an outbreak of which has killed over 200 people in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and neighbouring Uganda, has sparked anger in the country, which has recorded no cases of the virus.
Tina Peters, a former Colorado official convicted of allowing election machine tampering, has been released from state prison following a pressure campaign by United States President Donald Trump. As Peters left state prison on Monday, Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold issued a statement expressing opposition to her release.
OpenAI and its CEO, Sam Altman, were sued by the Florida Attorney General on Monday in a first-of-its-kind state litigation effort over ChatGPT's alleged links to a number of violent incidents. The lawsuit accuses OpenAI of looking the other way on safety concerns, as it has sought to prioritize winning the AI arms race and amass large fortunes. AI giant Anthropic has said it plans to become a public company in the US. The company behind the popular chatbot Claude said on Monday it had filed confidential paperwork with the US Securities and Exchange Commission in order to make an initial public offering, IPO, this year. 3 new vaccines are being developed to tackle the rare species of Ebola that has already killed nearly 250 people. The International AIDS Vaccine Initiative, IAVI, which is working on one vaccine, said the outbreak was threatening to be the worst ever. Italians have reacted with bemusement to the restoration of a famous bull mosaic in Milan, with some wondering what has happened to the animal's Lucky Charm testicles. Work to repair the small crater formed by tourists grinding their heels on the bull's private parts began last week, and local Milan councillor Marco Granelli said over the weekend that the mosaic had been completely restored. The United States and Iran have both signalled that they would prefer not to go back to the war that has been on hold since the ceasefire was announced on the 8th of April. Neither side has allowed the steady drumbeat of military exchanges between them to end the talks being mediated by Pakistan, Qatar and others.
Artificial intelligence giant Anthropic has confidentially filed for an initial public offering, IPO, in the United States, teeing up what could become a watershed moment for Wall Street's AI frenzy. The move, announced on Monday, sets up a high-stakes test of whether investor appetite for the AI revolution that has reshaped white-collar work around the world can match the sky-high expectations surrounding the booming sector.
SpaceX has added new language to its IPO filing that warns prospective investors about the company's access to a potentially scarce resource. Water, the company, which now includes Elon Musk's AI play, xAI, wrote in an amended version of the filing on Monday that access to water is just as important as SpaceX's ability to secure power, processors, and critical power, processors, and other critical resources.
Instagram has resolved a security issue that allowed several users' accounts to get hacked. The attack appeared to rely on tricking Meta's own AI-powered support chatbot into granting access to a victim's account. Over the weekend, several users on Reddit claimed that their Instagram accounts had been compromised, and a number of users on X warned of similar account hijackings. The compromised accounts include the Instagram handle for the Obama-era White House, which appears to have been inactive since 2017, and the account of the U.S. Space Force's Chief Master Sergeant John Benton Wegner.
Lahore. Former Prime Minister and PMLN Supremo Nawaz Sharif will visit Gilgit-Baltistan on Tuesday to meet party ticket holders ahead of the June 7 elections. The GB Election Commission had announced that general elections in the region would be held on June 7 after a 4-month delay.
Iran has warned that Israeli attacks against Hezbollah in Lebanon could threaten Tehran's ceasefire with the US after Israel's prime minister ordered strikes on the southern suburbs of Beirut. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said the agreement with the US was unequivocally a ceasefire on all fronts, including in Lebanon, and that its violation on one front is a violation of the ceasefire on all fronts.
The pro-Palestinian American streamer Hassan Piker and his uncle say Britain's government has barred them from entering the country over their criticism of Israel. Piker, 34, and Turkish-American broadcaster and attorney Cenk Uygur were scheduled to speak this week at the South by Southwest Technology and Business Festival, SXSW, in London and address the Oxford Union, a debating society at the prestigious British University. Previous World Cup appearances, 2 best performance. Groups stage 96, 2022. First appearance, 1986, Mexico. Top goal scorer, Alphonso Davies, 1 player to watch. Alphonso Davies' FIFA World Ranking 30 football participation overtook ice hockey in Canada in the 1990s, but it has taken time to turn passion into national team respectability.
NVIDIA is set to bring artificial intelligence to laptop and desktop computers with brands like Microsoft and Dell later this year, as the US tech giant broadens its AI presence. The Santa Clara, California-based AI chipmaker unveiled on Monday at its annual NVIDIA GTC event in Taipei new powerful chips that would bring advanced AI functions to laptops and desktop computers. A former Syrian general has pleaded not guilty in an Austrian court to torturing opponents of ousted President Bashar al-Assad. Brigadier General Khalid al-Halabi made his plea as the trial opened on Monday in the Austrian capital, Vienna. Alongside Police Chief Lieutenant Colonel Musab Abu Rukba, al-Halabi faces charges including torture, aggravated coercion bodily harm, and inflicting serious bodily harm. Both face up to 10 years in prison.
Atlas Menu, a cheat service for popular online video game Grand Theft Auto V, has been hacked. According to data breach notification website Have I Been Pwned, the stolen data included users' email addresses, usernames, scrambled passwords, IP addresses, and support tickets. According to Have I Been Pwned, which said almost 64,000 accounts were part of the breach.
The mall is making a comeback as younger people return to American shopping malls in greater numbers. A startup called The Mall is bringing the concept online with an app that lets users create a personalized virtual mall from their favorite brands and track sales in one place.
European Union EU top diplomat Kaja Kallas on Monday said the bloc sought stability in the region, adding that it was in everyone's interest for the ongoing war in the Middle East to end and for the Strait of Hormuz to remain open. Kallas, who serves as Vice President of the European Commission and the EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, is visiting Pakistan at the invitation of Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar to participate in the 8th round of the EU-Pakistan Strategic Dialogue, which was held earlier today. Iranian officials have warned that Israel's escalating attacks on Lebanon and ongoing hostilities in Gaza threaten to derail the ongoing ceasefire negotiations with the United States, which continue to drag on. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi suggested on Monday that the mounting Israeli invasion of Lebanon and its strikes on the country, alongside the continued US siege of Iranian ports, constitutes a violation of the ceasefire.
Few states are as synonymous with left-wing politics in the United States as California. On Tuesday, the western state is headed to the polls to vote in primary elections ahead of November's midterms. But a quirk in its primary system has made its governor's race vulnerable to a Republican takeover.